The first Marquette Law School poll since Democrat David Crowley re-entered the primary race for governor is now out.
But even with Tony Evers' endorsement, Crowley isn't making up much ground. Francesca Hong takes the top spot with 38% of Democratic voters in favor. That surpasses the 34% of undecided voters. Mandela Barnes is polling in second place, Crowley in third. The director of the poll says at this point, there would have to be a major consolidation for any candidate other than Hong to take the primary.
It would have to be of a sort that we haven't seen evidence of so far in the campaign, that one of the candidates gets a real flow and becomes clearly identified as the alternative. And that's where Crowley's re-entry into the race reduces that ability to consolidate around one.
Well, those 5 Democratic candidates shared a stage again tonight to talk about data centers specifically. This informal town hall focused largely on the impact data centers are having on the state, the economy, and ecology.
But they did talk about some other issues as well. Adam Reif live outside Turner Hall, where it all went down tonight, to fill us in on everything. Adam.
Well, with Charles Franklin talking about a need for consolidation if there's going to be an alternative candidate, we did not see that happen tonight. With the clock ticking towards Election Day, time running out for many of these candidates to make a move in this race. Data centers was the topic here at Turner Hall, but they also focused on electability in general, the messiness of this race, and the presumptive opponent, Tom Tiffany. After receiving more good news earlier in the day that her lead atop the poll has widened, frontrunner Francesca Hong did not have to fight off any attacks at Wednesday night's forum. That allowed her to focus solely on data centers and her legislation calling for a moratorium on their construction.
We need the time to actually bring those folks to the table to make sure statutes are in place to help protect local governments.
Mandela Barnes and David Crowley, polling second and third, did not take many big swings at opponents, but for the second night in a row, targeted each other in a few limited interactions. After Barnes said he's the only candidate who wants to freeze utility rates, Crowley said,
by freezing the rates, you're basically saying that we're going to burn more coal. And there's only one other candidate I know that says to do that, which is Tom Tiffany.
Barnes responded,
you would be against freezing the rates because you are getting money from utility companies.
Towards the end of the debate, all 5 candidates were asked if everyone on stage could beat Tom Tiffany. All agreed, including Joel Brennan and Kelda Roys, who continue to stall in the polls. But Brennan insisted they must turn their attention on Tiffany, not each other.
If we're defending our candidate, then we can lose. Then there are challenges to us winning, and the stakes are so high.
Roys warned about Republican money helping Hong. She's also worried about control of the state legislature.
Republicans didn't just drop $3.5 million to try to influence this primary and buy the candidate that they feel most confident that they can beat. They also are spending $16 million to try to get a Republican trifecta.
Tonight's event was put on by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. They did invite Tom Tiffany to participate. He declined. Now, there were a whole lot of issues that they talked about, but after going on stage, all 5 candidates went down on the floor where they got to interact one-on-one with many people in the audience. If that's any indication of a straw poll of sorts, Francesca Hong won by a long shot. A lot of people lined up to talk to her tonight. Back to you from Turner Hall.
And counting down to the primary election, less than 2 weeks away. Adam Reif live for us in Milwaukee. Adam, thank you.
A state appeals court overturned a ruling that struck down Wisconsin's Act 10 law today. Act 10 is the 2011 law that sparked marathon protests, effectively abolishing collective bargaining rights for public service unions. The appeals court ruled lawmakers had a valid reason for treating those groups differently. For now, nothing changes. Act 10 has remained in effect. The fight could now head to the Wisconsin Supreme Court.